Hey, folks, I am Kevin Iole. Welcome to Yahoo Sports. My guest right now is one of the big stars in the UFC. Only been in the company for a short period of time, but he has taken the UFC by storm, the MMA world by storm. I guess I should say that is, of course, Paddy Pimblett. He will be fighting UFC 282 at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas against very tough Jared Gordon, a guy that always brings it. Paddy, how's it going, my man?
I'm great, lad. In a great place at the minute, feeling fire in the gym. My weight's perfect, so I haven't got to worry about nothing. To be honest, everything's went smoothly, very very smoothly. This camp, not like my last camp where everything was. It was hard work. The last camp, to be honest.
That's right. I wanted to get into that for people who may have missed that fight card or, didn't read about it. You did what I thought was an incredible thing. I wrote about it after the fight. Your friend Ricky sadly committed suicide the day before the fight. And you made a speech that I thought was one of the most incredible speeches from the octagon about mental health and suicide and getting help. And I want to talk about the aftermath. What happened after that? And I'm sure people reached out to you and you had a lot of, people saying, thanking you for what you did. But can you talk a little bit about the aftermath of that day?
Well, yeah. To be honest, like everything blew up on social media after I said it, and me social media and stuff went absolutely bananas. But it's the messages that I got of people saying, "Oh, because you said that, I've reached out to someone and spoke. I haven't tried to commit suicide because of what you said." Like stuff like that. It means more to me than any winning any fight ever will.
Right. I can imagine like what that must do to your heart because, if somebody says, "Hey, I was thinking of killing myself and I heard what you said and I didn't do it." I mean, what more heroic act is there? But that the feeling that must put inside you, it has to be incredible.
Yeah, it does. I also like to fire under me that I need to keep on pushing and keep on doing good in the octagon because the better I do, the more I'll inspire people to live a better life and to not even think about things like that.
Fighting in the co-main event against Jared Gordon is interesting because Jared is similar in the sense that, he had a really crazy drug addiction. And the fact that Jared is alive today, I don't know if you know his story, but he has
Yeah,
a wild backstory. And he now is out there every day helping people. So kind of the two of you fighting in the octagon, and each of you have a cause that you're really fighting for that's bigger than yourselves.
yeah. Jared's got such an inspirational story. To be honest, like I respect him so much as a human being. He's a brilliant man. Like beating through it, coming through his addiction, what he's come through, and like he was legally dead for 2 minutes as well, wasn't he?
Right.
And then
Yes,
got
he
come
was.
back to life. So it just shows he's got a purpose being here, and I think his purpose is to help former addicts and to obviously help people as well with mental health issues. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I never thought I'd be making a speech like that after the fight. If if that didn't happen with Ricky 2 nights before it, then I wouldn't. You know what I mean? But it's one of them things. Like everything I said that night came from the heart. It's just
Yeah.
something that I was passionate about it as soon as I heard about it because obviously it's something that's big in the UK as well, in Liverpool especially. Like over the past couple of months, there's been multiple people kill themselves in my city who are about my age. It's the biggest killer of men between like 18 and 50, and no one speaks about it enough. And that's why I thought I'll just speak about it, and I'm going to continue to speak about it right up until I have no breath left in me.
And when you talk, some people look at, you score the winning goal or you get the knockout punch or whatever, that you're a hero. But I think sometimes what you did and what Jared has done and is doing is more of a heroic act than anything else. Let's move on to the fight itself, though. Jared's a fascinating guy. He's kind of been up and down a little bit in his career, but when he's on, he is a really tough guy. What is the challenge you think he presents you?
To be honest, he's tough. You know what I mean? He's hard to finish, but I think he's. I'll be. I think I'm better than him everywhere. It's a step up in competition because he's been in there with some of the best in the UFC. He's 4-1 in his last five, and the loss before that was to Charles Oliveira, the former champ. But
Right.
Charles beat him in a round. I want to be the champion one day, so I need to beat him in a round. That's just the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like there's any, like your ground game? Obviously, you've had what back-to-back submissions now, and a KO, I think, in the UFC. So you've been getting a lot of finishes. Do you think if this fight gets to the ground, that's an advantage for you?
I think wherever the fight is, I'm in advantage. I think I have better jiu-jitsu, better wrestling, and better striking.
Interesting. What does it mean to you to be in the co-main event? So when the whole thing went down with Yuri Prohaska being out and Ankalaev and Blachowicz moving up to become the main event for the light heavyweight title, put you in the co-main event. I mean, that gives you a little more, you're in the spotlight a little bit more, and especially on a big pay-per-view. You've been in big fights already, but in a pay-per-view, this will be a big one for you. What does that mean to you at all?
I was the people's main event anyway. You know that, Kev. I was what most people were buying the pay-per-view for and buying tickets to come and watch the show for. Like, I'm the one that puts the bums on seats. That's basically it. You know what I mean? Like, I know that the UFC knows my star power, and that's just the way it is. Like, I've got more followers on Instagram than Hand Sanitizer Boy, Bryce Mitchell, Ankalaev, Jan Blachowicz, and Jared Gordon put together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How did you build that following? Was it strictly fighting, or was there a method to the madness that was beyond just, hey, he's an exciting fighter to watch?
No, it's not just me fighting. You know what I mean? It's my personality. If it was just fighting, then multiple fighters in the UFC would have millions of followers. You know, Alexander Volkanovski is pound for pound best in the world, and he's an unbelievable fighter. But I don't think he's got 1 million followers.
Right.
Like, it's also what you do outside the cage, and I'm just me. You know what I mean? Like, people can say all they want, oh, he's putting an act on, he's putting a persona on. It's far from it. Like, when there's cameras there and when there isn't, I'm exactly the same person. It shows because people like that authenticity. People like me for it. Like, a lot of people hate Colby Covington, me included. I think he's an idiot, but he's meant to be a very nice person when the cameras are off. So it's crazy.
One of the things, I guess, it seems like the UK has produced, and I just think over the last, number of years, Mike Bisping had that, he's a great fighter, obviously a UFC Hall of Famer, but he had the personality, and for a long time, he made everybody hate him. I think now as an announcer, he's changing the whole thing. Tyson Fury, the boxing heavyweight champion, same way, and he also has championed mental health issues. Yourself, is there something about you guys over there that you feel freer to sort of express personality than maybe fighters in the US or other parts of the world do?
Well, certainly you forgot to mention there is we're all from the Northwest. So the 3 fighters you've just mentioned are from Liverpool, Manchester. You know what I mean? We're all from the Northwest, and we're very exuberant characters from by ours. So I think that plays a part, us being from the Northwest, because there's other people who are in the UFC that are not from the Northwest, they're from different parts of the country or different parts of the UK, and they don't get the attention that we get. And that's just because of our personalities.
Sure. Whenever, your teammate, your friend Molly McCann had a rough one at UFC 281. They showed when you fought on the same card as her, you in the back watching her, and your reaction was priceless. That was classic to see, you cheering for your teammate like that right before your fight. What was it? How hard was it to watch her against Erin Blanchfield? Blanchfield, obviously, I think is a fantastic fighter and really on the rise. What was it like for you watching that? Seeing your friend take such a beating, and I mean, she was in a tough spot. I mean, I give her a lot of credit. I mean, she's in that crucifix. Yeah. Oh, it's incredible. But how was it?
It was hard to watch. Like, there's a little bit of me watching it on one of my vlogs. To be honest, it was a difficult watch. Got a little bit upset, but I got more angry. You know what I mean? It just lit another fire under my backside, because I was looking at, like, I won't let this happen to me, and I'm gonna come and steal the show in Vegas. I won't have people badmouthing our gym like they have been the past couple of weeks. People saying, "Oh, there's one hype train gone, the next one's gone December 10th." We'll see. You know what I mean? Some of the hate that I've received, not just Molly, over the past couple of weeks has been absolutely disgusting.
Wow.
But we'll see the next few weeks, won't we? We'll see what happens on December 10th.
Isn't it the thing? I'm sure in your young life you found this out. You walk in the ring, maybe they're booing you or whatever, and then you do something good. You get to finish. Everybody's all of a sudden cheering, and they're on your side, right? So you can't let that external stuff bother you too much, right? Because people are fickle.
Yeah, people are fickle. Like, it happened to me years ago when I lost my Cage Warriors belt. I had a message off someone from 6 months earlier. "Oh, your boss, Paddy, you're the best," and all that. And then the 2 days after I lost the belt, I had a message off the same kid saying, "Oh, you're shit, lad. You've embarrassed us." The same person. Know what I mean? Fight fans are fickle. you're only as good as your last fight. So she's going to get a bit of hate for a bit. But as I say, I'm going to get that one back for us. Mark my words.
Okay, we will do that. Let's two other things. Let's go out. Number one, I notice you're eating some vegetables there. Of course, you haven't hidden the fact that you kind of get more like the sports writers at K-side than the fighters when in between fights you get a little bigger. So hey, I'm not one to to criticize anybody for that, right? So believe me, you're not going to hear criticism from me. But is it healthy for your body to blow up and down 50, 60 pounds between fights? And is it going to shorten your career? Do you think? Are you worried about that?
I don't care.
No,
I do me, lad. I'm not going to let some armchair helmet tell me how to live my life.
Right.
When they've never stepped foot in the cage. I went and got a DEXA scan today, lad. My body's the healthiest it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that simple. You know what I mean? I got a DEXA scan on my body. I'm 77.8 kilo, which is 171 or 172. And people think I'm going to struggle to make weight. People don't know what they're talking about. People don't know what they're talking about, lad. So I don't mind that. People can keep talking about me weight all they want. You know what I mean? Just because my social media, like my YouTube team, make up the odd video saying, oh, he's lost 50 pounds. I have lost 50 pounds, but that's from when I was in America. At one point, when I got on the scales in America, I was 209. But I started this camp at 193.
So,
you know what I mean? So that's standard what like Dustin Poirier will do, or Islam will do, or Charles will do. That's just standard procedure. But because it's me and my cheeks go like this, people make a big deal of it.
So the weight goes a different place, and people.
Yeah, the weight goes a different place. I mean, I don't really get a belly. The weight just goes like that to my face.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, let's wrap with this. Obviously, you said earlier you're very confident you're better than Jared Gordon in all spots. Assuming you get through this successfully, map out 2023 for me. Where do you want to be at the end of 23?
I'm not in no rush. I'll just take everything in my stride. As I say, when people say like, "Oh, he's taking easy fights," I don't pick my fights.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sean Shelby picks my fights. I get sent a contract. I sign that contract. I don't care whose name's on that contract. Doesn't matter if the champ's name's on there or someone you've never heard of name's on there. You know what I mean? It doesn't make a difference to me. I just sign the contract that I get given and I turn up and fight.
Well, we will see. Hopefully, you're going to be in some big fights. You win this one, you got your position for some big ones. Paddy Pimblett, we appreciate you, brother. Good luck, and we will see you in Vegas next week.
You know that. Thank you very much, Kev. See you next week.